Hi and welcome back. Today I'm going to talk to you about the methods Atwood used when writing The Handmaid's Tale. If you think about it, everything in novels are a construct that shows every choice is being made deliberately by Margaret Atwood. And in the pictures here you can see Margaret Atwood on the left, but on the right hand side you can see an extract from a first draft of the novel, and you can see how many changes she's made, how much crossing out, shifting around she's done. So every single thing that she does is designed to have an effect on the reader. That's what she's after. So there's an awful lot of thought goes into her reading. So today we are going to, I can get this to move on. Apparently not. Next. There we go. So today we're going to think about the ways that writers shape meaning. In particular, Margaret Atwood. How does she shape her meaning? We're going to think about structure. We're going to look at how Atwood has structured the novel and how that influences and affects the way that we read it. And I think that actually, in all honesty, might be all we have time for today. But then next lesson I'll do the other three, which are setting, when and where the novel's set and how that engages the reader, and what choices Atwood has made deliberately to engage you and interest you. How she creates those vivid and engaging characters. What does she do that makes us so interested in them, makes us love them, makes us hate them, makes us feel anyway. And then finally we'll have a look at how she focuses the reader's attention, whose point of view she uses. But to start, I'm going to ask you to make notes throughout this entire presentation. I'm going to say pause and make some notes. I haven't given you any way to make notes. I'm just going to ask you to stop and make notes. And there are many, many different ways that people make notes. And I'm going to ask you to look at the examples on the following slide. They're not all about The Handmaid's Tale, but the style and the details. So how people are doing them, what they're doing, and which one you think actually would suit you. There isn't a right or wrong way. But as you listen to my explanations, I'd really like you to think about how to create a detailed and thorough set of notes about what you're reading and what you're being shown. To start off, we've got this left-hand side. We've got just bullet points, but they're fairly detailed, they're fairly ordered, and they're fairly concise. There are one or two pictures there, but mostly it's just bullet points, and that's a fairly effective way to do it. I'd say if you just bullet point, you're going to have to do something with that later on. On the other side, you've got all sorts of different bits and pieces going on there. You've got a separate section for class notes. You've got active notes. You've got highlighting. So all of your headings are highlighted there so that it's really easy to see what you're making notes on. These ones, you've got lots and lots of pictures on the left-hand side, not so many words. And that can be really great if you're a very visual person. On the other side, you've got questions that you ask, and then the notes are the answers to the question. And in the bottom there, you've got a summary of what's happening, what your notes are about. Okay. Next ones. Lots of lovely pictures with some quotations, some odd, some meaningful things. Those pictures mean a lot. And if you are very creative and like to draw, that might be where you want to make your notes. On the other side, you've got a sort of almost spider diagram. You've got lots of little blocks of notes all over the place. And that's to show you that they don't really need to be linear. They can be any way you like. We've got a spider's web here with quotations and explanations of it, of what's going on. You've got a tree with all of the branches having different bits of notes on them. So many, many ways you can make notes. You've got this one, which is picture, and then just bullet points underneath, under three separate sections. Or you've got another one with images for main themes and books to show you what's happening in each act. So you can do it, you can make notes whichever way works for you, but find a way that works for you. You could try all of these, because you need really good notes on The Handmaid's Tale so that when it comes to revising, it's fairly easy for you to do. Okay. So we're going to start with narrative structure. The Handmaid's Tale has a really, really interesting structure. There's nothing at all simple about it. The first bullet point there says simple chronology. That's not true of The Handmaid's Tale. We're going to look at all of these things and I'd like you to make notes as I speak. You may well want to pause, actually, whenever you like, but I will remind you to pause every now and then, okay? So, let's begin. We've got framed narratives. Now, The Handmaid's Tale isn't strictly speaking framed, as it opens straight into the world of the novel. However, it does end with the historical notes, which sort of give an end frame. And the historical notes give us lots and lots of information about Gilead that helps us as readers to make sense of the novel and its ending. We can understand the narrative more easily, especially its structure, because we are told that it's derived from a series of tapes found and ordered by a historian. They weren't found in any particular order, and somebody else has worked at it to put them in an order that they think makes sense. It helps explain the constant shifts. So pause and make some notes. Welcome back. Flashbacks or analepsis are a key feature of the novel. They usually occur in the night sections of the novel and allow us to discover lots about Offred before she was enslaved. Of course, we only have Offred's focus for this, and the constant shifts in time and place destabilise the reader, leaving them with more questions than answers. Again, pause and make some notes. Hi. So, Offred's narration is very, very well considered and very selective, as readers were only given her viewpoint. It's almost a diary, although it doesn't give us dates or times. It's not specific. This relates to the title of the novel, The Handmaid's Tale. So whilst it's about one handmaid, the lack of identity and the lack of personal information there makes it more a record of what happened and what happened to every handmaid. There's no personal detail really in that title, and Offred holds back an awful lot of information about herself. She doesn't hold back anything about the things that happened to her, but she even holds back her name. So pause now and make some notes. Welcome back. The novel is organised into sections, alternating night or sleep with Offred's days in Gilead, and within each section there are chapters. They create both an internal and external perspective on her life and allow her to escape to the past and escape the horrors of Gilead. If you think about all those night sections of her reflecting on what her life was like, missing her daughter, memories and events, whereas the other sections that alternate with it are about what's happening in Gilead, what happens to her, when it happens, from the mundane and everyday of the going shopping to the more extreme visits to the commander in his office, or visits to see Nick, the trip to Jezebel's. There's all sorts of more exciting things happen. But then again, in the night section, she does tell us about a capture and how she lost her daughter. So they're both sections, both types of section, are very revealing about Offred, but indirectly. So pause and take some notes. Hi, welcome back. In this, all we get is Offred's perspective, okay? She privileges, so Atwood privileges Offred's story, and it allows her to explore the ways in which women are controlled in Gilead, and by association, how women have been controlled in the past. So what's happened to women in our society is reflected in what happens to Offred. We don't get the commander's perspective. We don't really care about the commander's perspective, do we? Although, from his perspective, we may feel sorry for him as well. So pause now and make some notes. Welcome back. So the opening of the novel introduces us to Gilead and shows how the theocratic regime has changed every aspect of life. It also shows the challenges faced by people who remember the world before Gilead. This life in Gilead, Gilead has not quite managed to eradicate pre-Gilead society. There are all sorts of traces and ideas of it left there. And the people who were alive and adult before Gilead can remember everything, and all sorts of things trigger these memories. So pause now and make some notes. Hi, welcome back. So the ending of the novel, however, fills in lots and lots of gaps that Offred has left. It also allows us some hope in it, that it suggests that Offred has escaped. She's found time to record her story, found time and a safe place to record her story. This hope is slightly intensified by the fact that the regime of Gilead hasn't survived. It's now a subject for a historical conference sometime in the future. So we know that Gilead, this really, really oppressive theocratic regime, has not survived. That obviously resistance was put in place and got rid of it, ended it. Okay. So make yourself some notes. Okay. Thanks for your attention. You can add to your notes in as much detail as you possibly can, thinking about the novel. Add detail, add quotations, add anything you think, oh, that's interesting, and it triggers off. So your notes should be much greater than the things that I have told you. You should be able to add to them constantly. We're going to stop here, and next lesson we'll look at time and place, characterisation and point of view. I'm really hoping that this style of lesson is helpful for you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.